visit to various ministries. DR Congo is experiencing a drop in the number of Ebola cases. In New York City are demanding for the counting of all votes. These and more coming on News Desk. Welcome, my name is Sahna Tunkara and now to the news in detail. On Wednesday, President Barrow, accompanied by the Secretary General and Head of Civil Service, embarked on a visit to ministries to see the progress of the various ministries. He said it is the primary responsibility of the President to monitor the work in a country, and this is why he deemed it fitting to go out and witness it for himself, how various ministries are run. More of that in this report. The President visited the Personal Management Office, the Ministry of Youth and Sports, Ministry of Local Government and Lands, Ministry of Tourism and Culture, and the Ministry of Finance. Discipline, punctuality, and determination to work was the theme of his visit to the various ministries, plus a call for a complete overhaul in the way work is done.
There must be discipline. People have to take responsibility. That you have a duty and a responsibility. If you are given the responsibility in the office, it's a question of trust, and it's also a privilege of education. We have been getting a lot of information, but to come and see for ourselves is the best. That's why we are here today. I was entering the main door. I was really not happy how the place is managed. Behind the garden, and you see the dustbins that are there. I think the building also, I don't know whether you have a vault or whatever. As you enter, even the main door, the glass is broken. I think it needs to work. Yeah. And as the head of the PMO, we expect discipline to start from here. Here, we should not compromise discipline, punctuality, and also. So we are advising everybody from now onwards, we want to see change. This country belongs to all of us. I'm privileged to be president. I'm given the responsibility. And my main responsibility is to monitor. That is my job. That's why we get back to you on monitoring. We are not witch hunting anybody.
The President wants punctuality at work and said the early closure from work has to stop, and civil servants have to adapt to these new measures.
People have to come to work on time and finish on time. That's very, very important. And most of these social activities also, people always take excuses. I'm going for Gente, I'm going for this is too much. It's happening anyway. By 3 o'clock, you are on the road here, you see civil servant. Everybody is going home. It's happening. We don't want that to happen. And the responsibility is your leader. Anything that happens in this office is your responsibility. You want to make sure that happens. People come on time, they sign on time, they're there, they close on time. We can also take care of our facilities. If you want the facility to be durable, we have to take care of it. For visiting here, the way you see, that's the way they will take you. And obviously, your office is key, that's important, it's the nerve center of government. So your responsibility is huge.
Throughout the exercise, the recurrent issue highlighted by various ministries is the need for office spaces. The President assured that the issue will be discussed in consultation with his cabinet. The Barrow administration has undertaken a series of policy reforms to improve the civil service as part of the civil service reform agenda to ensure efficient and effective service delivery to Gambians. Therefore, The president urged the civil servants to show a positive attitude to work to achieve the desired results in public service delivery. The Gambian leader on Wednesday paid a surprise visit to various ministries. Now, American voters are still anxiously waiting for the final results of the 2020 presidential elections as votes are being counted. Speaking on Tuesday, President Trump said he wants voting to stop, suggesting fraud, but some voters in New York City took to the streets on Wednesday calling for all votes to be counted. Details of that in this report.
Hundreds of Americans were on Wednesday out in the street of New York City demanding that all votes be counted.
Be defeated. The people united will never be defeated.
The protest follows incumbent Donald Trump's call for the counting of mail-in ballots to be held on Tuesday. His challenger, Joe Biden, is projected to win the election if he could secure 6 more electoral college votes, having already gained 264 compared to Trump's 214 electoral votes. Trump already claimed he had won the elections and received strong criticism over his false claims, but there were enough to raise fears that the final results might be disputed. Nonetheless, protesters in New York had a huge banner calling for every vote to be counted. Votes were still being counted in a handful of key battleground states, with Biden enjoying a lead over Trump in electoral college and the popular vote. With some results in some battleground states yet to be declared, the Trump campaign has launched legal bids to stop the vote counting in Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Georgia, and Michigan. Reporting for Africa News, I am Amadou Kante.
From there, heading to DR Congo, the Ebola outbreak has significantly dropped in the northeast of the Republic of Congo. With the coronavirus pandemic raging across the world, the DRC is simultaneously fighting against 2 deadly viruses. Since the eruption of the 11th Ebola outbreak in the country, 130 cases have been recorded with 50 deaths so far. However, medical experts show enthusiasm to control the spread of the virus through frequent vaccination treatment. The country has not recorded any case in 30 days.
The spread of the Ebola outbreak in the northwest of the DRC has slowed significantly over the past 2 months. Many of the health centers there no longer have any patients. The disease broke out in the dense rainforest of Mbandaka in June. The poor road network posed serious logistical challenges for health workers. But Congolese health officials are now optimistic about bringing it to an end.
Déclaration de la fin de l'épidémie, une épidémie qui a démarré.
The situation is now under control. We are continuing to fight the Ebola outbreak until we end it. The outbreak was announced in June. We've recorded 130 cases and 55 deaths so far. We've now gone for 35 days without recording a new case. We are left with a few days to declare the outbreak over.
The outbreak can only be declared over after 42 days have elapsed since the last patient tests negative. The decline in cases has been attributed to the availability of vaccines and treatments. According to the World Health Organization, 40,000 people have been vaccinated in the northwest of the DRC since the beginning of the outbreak. This is the 11th Ebola outbreak to occur in the DRC since 1976. The previous epidemic in the east was the worst in the country's history, with more than 2,200 deaths recorded.
DR Congo is simultaneously fighting against 2 deadly viruses. Now we will go with a short commercial break and continue with the rest of our stories. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You're still watching News Desk, and now to the rest of our stories. The Egyptian German Center in Cairo has been inaugurated this week to cut the rate of irregular migration. The center will offer a list of vacancies available in Germany, particularly to the dwellers of governorates that produce the largest numbers of irregular migrants. It will also provide candidates with German language courses and workshops training different craft and professional skills needed in the German labor market. More of that in this report.
Illegal migration has been frustrating to governments in the European Union and North Africa.
Egypt has been suffering from illegal immigration because its geographical location makes it a transit point for illegal migrants, not just Egyptians but also from other countries. Many of them die at sea in the overpacked boats they use, while the ones who arrive to Europe are faced with legal issues, which is a headache for authorities in both countries.
Several EU members have pledged funds for establishing projects in North Africa to provide well-paying jobs for locals. This could deter them from seeking to illegally travel north of the Mediterranean. One of the main aspects is training laborers to suit the European Union market for its employment needs. The first training center of its kind has been inaugurated in Cairo this week and has been organized by Egypt and Germany. The center, the third to be established in North Africa after Tunisia and Morocco, is opening a link between job seekers and employers in Germany.
This center is very important as it encourages legal migration of skilled and talented Egyptian laborers, helps cover the employment needs in the German market, and counsels youth in preparing the proper documents required by German authorities for a working visa. Also important is to instill the culture, language and ethics of the country they are migrating to, so that they can blend in the community without any difficulties.
The aim is to provide the right people for the required jobs.
Today, Germany and many European countries have a growing need for skilled workers. 2020, the official data in Germany is that we have 620,000 job vacancies not to be filled by European citizens. And therefore, there have been a lot of change in the immigration law to attract foreign workers to Germany.
The ambassador says not only university graduates are needed, but different skills, such as mechatronics, healthcare, and software specialists. 17 similar centers have been established worldwide, hoping this could cut illegal migration rates.
Germany and Egypt joined hands to cut the rate of irregular migration by setting up a training center. Now, heading back home, Gamtel Staff Cooperative Credit Union officially inaugurated its head office complex in Abuko on Wednesday. The credit union is set up to help members in the provision of credit facilities as well as other financial services. Details of that in this report. The construction of the head office was entirely built from the surpluses and profits members made, and it is geared towards solving the financial challenges they are facing. Speaking before officially declaring the opening of the office complex, the chairman of the board of directors, Keba Toure, says the union is set to enhance national development and urges for more membership.
Finally, allow me to thank you all for honoring our invitations with a short notice. Chinua Achebe, in his renowned novel, Things Fall Apart, said, and I quote, "A man who calls his kinsmen to a feast does not do so to serve them from starving." Taking from your valuable time in gracing the inauguration of the GSU office complex, therefore decodes the bond we share as members with common interests and partners in national development. On that note, I urge all communication companies or GSM operators, former staff in this country to come forward and join the GSU, because our desire is to have all communication and media houses under one umbrella. The bigger the membership, the better for everyone.
With more than 15 established credit union branches in the country that helps its members with loans at affordable rates and other financial services, the newly inaugurated union is advised to emulate such services to its customers.
Now I want to go to the members of this cooperative credit union. I've made to understand that it is through your own effort that this edifice is today here. So I think it's one thing to have this edifice here, but it's also another thing to make the best use of it. It is yours. I mean, you should make the best use of it. Let it not be a white elephant or something else. We have seen other sister cooperative credit union, to make financial services available, accessible, and affordable to its members. I think the construction of this edifice is very, very timely. And as I made mention earlier, I hope and I think that members will make the best use of this edifice.
The credit union has been in existence since 1997, following a study tour of a high-level delegation from the Gambia to the Republic of Ireland, where the concept of credit unionism was developed to financially empower Gamtel, Gamcel and GRTS staff and board members. For iAfrica TV, Sohna Tunkara. That was all on News Desk. Amadou Kante will bring you more interesting stories during the World News Bulletin at 17:30 GMT. Until then, bye for now.